So today is Rosie's birthday. Rosie, today is Rosie's birthday, so we got her some treats and a birthday hat. Desi, there's a treat in there for you too, but you have to wait. It's her birthday first. You are way too amused by this.
Come here. Oh my goodness.
I have to get some photos of this.
Do not. Rosie, leave it! No!
I don't know if she likes it.
Rosie. Hey! Hey! You monster!
Update, Rosie does not like the hat very much. She's trying to eat it, but she's also crazy.
Stop trying to eat your birthday hat! It's all wrapped around your head.
Babe, would you say that Rosie's birthday was successful?
I think so.
She loved the cookie. She wasn't a fan of the birthday hat.
She likes the hat. She just wants to eat the hat.
She just wants to eat the hat, which is not what the hat's made for. Desi's cool with the hat. I gotta be honest with you. I thought Desi would be the one freaking out about the hat, and Rosie would be the one cool with it. But she's totally cool with it.
Oh, Desi.
So we're looking through Rosie's birthday pictures. So with the birthday done, there's one thing I wanted to talk about today, and that is a program that I have caught wind of called Sony Catalyst. Now with all of the new video cameras coming out and all of the hype around video that is going on, it seems like all the new cameras that are coming out are primarily focused on video. I'm not sure why that is or what the reasoning, but video is kind of all the hype right now. So with that, there are new ways that people are trying to find to make the videos better and more stable. And Sony has come out with the software. It's been out for a while, but it's just starting to actually, find its way to more of the consumer market. It's called Sony Catalyst. And basically it's a media management tool for organizing your files, writing metadata, renaming, and also there is a small function in the program for stabilizing your footage. Now, the reason that is just coming to the minds of consumers is because usually this is only a stabilization tool that can be used on their higher end cinema cameras. So like the FX9, maybe the FX7, I'm not sure on that one, but basically it's usually only usable on their cinema cameras. But a few of Sony's newer consumer cameras can actually use this stabilization features. So for this to work, the clip has to have the gyroscopic data in the metadata so that the program can actually use that to stabilize the footage, and it comes out a lot better than what it would come out like in Premiere or Final Cut. So there's only a couple of cameras that do this. Like I said, the FX9, but now some of Sony's consumer cameras actually come with this gyro data built in when you record a clip. Those being their new Sony a7S III, the new $3,500 video camera that people have been waiting for like 6 years. But also, surprisingly, they put it into their Sony ZV-1, their little vlogger's point and shoot camera, which I'm actually using to record this video right now. So I don't have an FX9 and I don't have a Sony a7S III yet, but what I do have is a Sony ZV-1. So I'm going to test out Sony Catalyst with the ZV-1 and see how well it actually works. So I'll record some clips and then throw them into Catalyst and see if they actually look good coming out of it. Now, from what I understand, you still have to crop in on the footage a little bit, but not near as much as you would using the interior stabilization of the Sony cameras or using like a warp stabilizer in your NLE where it has to crop in a ton to even get it close to looking okay. But from what I've seen online, Sony Catalyst looks almost better than a gimbal in a lot of situations. Now, obviously, if it's super shaky, there's not a lot you can do. But for footage that is semi-okay in terms of being smooth when you're walking and such, it seems like it works pretty well. So let's test it out and see if this program is up to par with what I've seen in all the videos I've watched on the software. She wants the camera. So from what I understand, to use the software, you have to actually turn off all interior stabilization in your camera. I'm not sure if that entirely is how you're supposed to do it. So I'm going to record some clips with the stabilizer on and then some clips with the stabilizer off, and then we'll test them both out and see which one works better when throwing them into the Catalyst stabilizer. All right, so let's jump in and see what the clips look like and see if Sony Catalyst is actually as good as everybody is saying. So this is the standard stabilization. This isn't a crop. This is just the optical stabilization built into the lens. So we're gonna walk around with this and see how it looks. It shouldn't be too shaky because I'm trying to hold it pretty still, but it shouldn't be the best. So this is with standard stabilization. So this is with the active steady shot built into the ZV-1. So it's gonna be a lot more steady than the standard, but it's also going to give you a crop on the video. So depending on how you're holding the camera or what you're doing, this could be not desirable for like a vlogging scenario. I have it on a GorillaPod, so it's not too bad. It's still a little bit too close for comfort though. So this is, like I said, active steady shot built into the Sony ZV-1. All right, now I have all stabilization in the camera turned off for this shot. So at first I'm not gonna toss it into Catalyst. This is just gonna be straight handheld, no stabilization. So it's probably gonna be pretty shaky. It's not gonna be very desirable to watch, but this is what it looks like. No stabilization, just the straight shot on a GorillaPod, walking around, vlogging, like you would use this camera for. So now I have all stabilization turned off in the ZV-1, but I have thrown this clip into Sony Catalyst and used the stabilization built into Sony Catalyst to see how well that actually worked. I'm still trying to hold the camera pretty steady because any stabilizer is going to have a little bit of issue smoothing out, you know, steps and walking and the up and down that you get from walking. But this is no stabilization in the camera, just Sony Catalyst to stabilize the footage. Now we're gonna test out using the standard stabilization built into the camera, so there's no crop, and then I'm going to still try to toss this in to Sony Catalyst and see if it'll still stabilize it further than what you just get straight out of the camera. So this is, again, standard stabilization in the camera, so optical in the lens, I believe, and then also Sony Catalyst. So here we go, walking around. So looking at the clip, it looks super stable comparatively. Now, like I said, any stabilizer is going to have a little bit of trouble fixing, you know, jolting that happens when you walk. But overall, this footage looks super awesome. It's, you know, very acceptable for a vlog style video. Now, one thing I want to mention in Catalyst, once you stabilize it, it crops in a ton, and you can actually go in manually and kind of uncrop it as much as possible. So I set that to about 90 in terms of the uncropping. So there is still a little bit of crop and a little bit of room for it to actually work and get the stabilization in there. But I pulled it out to pretty much, I think it's a little less than what it would crop in with active stabilization, and it looks a lot better than what the active stabilization looked like. All right, so this wasn't by any means like a scientific test or a very in-depth test, but I just wanted to see if the software worked well, like everyone is saying it does. And like I said, I didn't let it crop in too much. I wanted to get as close to the full, 24 millimeters as I could, because what I'm trying to do is avoid using, the active stabilization because of the crop, and trying to get something even better than that. And if you were to let it crop in a little bit more, then it probably keeps working a little bit better. So maybe that, would make this footage look even better as if I let it crop in more. But overall, Catalyst seems like a pretty solid software if you have the camera that can do it. Again, it's the FX9, the A7S III, and the Sony ZV-1. Overall, pretty solid software. Go test it out if you have one of those cameras. I think it's definitely worth it to get some super stable footage. That's it for me. I will see you guys in the next video.